My friends, I need you to stop whatever you're doing right now and pay very close attention to what I'm about to share with you, because this April update is one of the most important things I've talked about in a long time. If you are receiving Social Security retirement benefits, SSI, SSDI, or VA benefits, there are new deposit amounts trending right now, and a lot of seniors across this country are waking up and seeing numbers in their bank accounts that they haven't seen before. We're talking about $2,100 deposits, and in some cases even higher, depending on your situation, your work history, and whether you qualify for certain adjustments that most people don't even know they're entitled to. Now, I know there's a lot of noise out there. I know there are people who feel confused, frustrated, and honestly a little scared about what's happening with their benefits. And I want you to know, I hear you. You worked your entire life. You paid into this system. You earned every single penny of what's coming to you. And today, I'm going to sit right here with you and explain exactly what's happening, what changed, what it means for your check, and what you can do right now to make sure you're getting every dollar you deserve. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's walk through this together. Let's start at the very beginning, because I want to make sure everyone watching understands the foundation of what's happening. Back in January of this year, the 2025 cost of living adjustment, which you've probably heard called the COLA, went into full effect. The Social Security Administration confirmed a 2.5% COLA increase for 2025, and while that number might sound small on paper, for millions of Americans, it translated into real meaningful money added to their monthly deposits. For the average Social Security retirement recipient, that increase pushed monthly benefits up by approximately $49 to $50 per month. But here's what most people miss, and this is so important. That COLA increase compounded on top of previous increases from 2023 and 2024, which were 8.7% and 3.2% respectively. So, if you've been on Social Security for the past few years, your cumulative benefit increase since 2022 is actually quite significant. And that's a big part of why we're now seeing so many seniors reporting deposits in the $2,000 to $2,100 range and beyond. Now, let me give you some real dollar figures so this makes sense. The maximum Social Security retirement benefit for someone who files at full retirement age in 2025 is $4,018 per month. For those who delayed their benefits until age 70, that number climbs all the way up to $508 per month. But I know most of us aren't at those maximum levels, and that's okay. The average monthly Social Security retirement benefit right now sits at approximately $1,176 per month. Add in the 2025 COLA, spousal benefits, delayed retirement credits, or auxiliary benefits from a spouse's work record, and getting to that $2,100 threshold becomes very realistic for a large number of retirees. If you are not yet at that level and you think you should be, stay with me, because I'm going to talk about some specific strategies a little later in this video that could help increase what you're receiving. Now let's talk about the April payment schedule, because I know a lot of you are watching right now trying to figure out exactly when your money is coming. The Social Security Administration follows a very specific payment calendar, and April 2025 is no different. Your payment date is based on your birthday, specifically the day of the month you were born. If your birthday falls on the 1st through the 10th of any month, your April payment was deposited on Wednesday, April 9th. If your birthday falls on the 11th through the 20th, your deposit arrived on Wednesday, April 16th. And if your birthday falls on the 21st through the 31st, your payment is scheduled for Wednesday, April 23rd. Now, here's something a lot of people don't realize. If you started receiving Social Security before May of 1997, or if you receive both Social Security and supplemental security income at the same time, your payment schedule is different. You would have received your Social Security payment on the 3rd of the month, which in April fell on Thursday, April 3rd. For our friends receiving SSI, supplemental security income, the April payment was issued on April 1st, which is the standard first of the month schedule. And I want to acknowledge something important here, because SSI recipients are often the most financially vulnerable people in our community. The maximum SSI payment for an individual in 2025 is $960 per month, and for a couple, it's $1,150 per month. These amounts also received the 2.5% COLA bump at the start of the year, which added about $23 to the individual rate. Every dollar matters, and I never want anyone watching to feel like their benefit is too small to pay attention to. You matter. Your check matters. Let me shift now and talk about something that I get questions about constantly, and that is the topic of benefit reductions and offsets, because this is where a lot of people are quietly losing money without even knowing it. One of the biggest changes that has been in the news this year involves the windfall elimination provision, or WEP, and the government pension offset, or GPO. Now, if you worked for a government employer, like a state or local government, and you also have a pension from that job that didn't pay into Social Security, these two rules used to significantly reduce your Social Security benefits. Hundreds of thousands of teachers, firefighters, police officers, and other public servants were affected by this for decades. But here is the good news, and this is major. The Social Security Fairness Act was signed into law in January of 2025, and it eliminated both the WEP and the GPO entirely. That means millions of affected retirees and their spouses or survivors are now receiving higher Social Security payments, sometimes hundreds of dollars more per month. If you were previously subject to these offsets and you haven't seen a change in your deposit yet, please contact the Social Security Administration directly, because you may be owed retroactive payments going back to January. I've heard from seniors who received lump sum back payments of $2,000, $3,000, even $5,000 or more because of this change. Don't leave that money on the table. Now let's talk about SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, because our disability community deserves a thorough update too. If you're receiving SSDI, your benefits are calculated the same way as retirement benefits, based on your lifetime earnings record. The 2025 COLA increase applies to you just as it does to everyone else. The average SSDI benefit in 2025 is approximately $1,180 per month. But depending on your work history, many SSDI recipients are well above that average and are absolutely falling into that $2,100 territory we've been discussing. One thing I want to flag for SSDI recipients specifically is the substantial gainful activity threshold, which the SSA uses to determine if you're working too much to remain eligible for benefits. In 2025, that limit was raised to $1,620 per month for non-blind individuals and $2,700 per month for blind individuals. If you've been cautious about working part-time for fear of losing your benefits, these higher thresholds give you a little more breathing room. And please, if you've never spoken with a benefits counselor about what you're allowed to earn while on SSDI, that conversation could genuinely change your financial situation. Let me take a moment now to speak directly to our veterans, because your situation is unique and you deserve your own dedicated update. Veterans receiving VA disability compensation also saw a COLA adjustment at the start of 2025, and the rates went up by that same 2.5%. For a veteran rated at 100% disability with no dependents, the monthly compensation is now approximately $3,137 per month. For those with dependents or who qualify for the special monthly compensation rates, those numbers are even higher. Here's something important for veterans who are also receiving Social Security, and there are millions of you. You can receive both VA disability compensation and Social Security retirement, or SSDI, at the same time without any offset or reduction. These are two completely separate programs, and receiving one does not reduce the other. If you are a veteran and you are not yet rated for disability compensation, or if you believe your rating should be higher based on your service-connected conditions, please reach out to a VSO, a veteran service organization, and get a free review of your claim. Getting that rating increased could add hundreds of dollars a month to your household income. Now, I want to spend a few minutes talking about taxes, because this is something that surprises a lot of seniors, and I don't want you to be caught off guard. Not everyone pays taxes on their Social Security benefits, but a significant number of people do, and the thresholds haven't changed in a very long time. If your combined income, which is your adjusted gross income plus any non-taxable interest, plus half of your Social Security benefits, exceeds $25,000 for a single filer or $32,000 for a married couple filing jointly, then up to 50% of your benefits could be taxable. If that combined income exceeds $34,000 for singles or $44,000 for couples, up to 85% of your benefits could be subject to federal income tax. I know that sounds alarming, but here's the practical takeaway. If you have any flexibility in how and when you withdraw from retirement accounts like IRAs or 401ks, working with a tax professional to manage those withdrawals strategically can meaningfully reduce or even eliminate the taxes you owe on your Social Security. This is called provisional income planning, and it's one of the most underused tools in a senior's financial toolkit. A small adjustment in when you take a distribution could save you thousands of dollars over the course of a year. Now, I promised you some strategies to help maximize your income, and I want to deliver on that promise before we wrap up. First, if you haven't yet claimed Social Security and you are between the ages of 62 and 70, the single most powerful thing you can do is delay your claim. Every year you wait past your full retirement age, your benefit grows by 8%. That is a guaranteed 8% return, which is extraordinary in any financial environment. Second, if you are married or were previously married for at least 10 years, make absolutely sure you've explored spousal and survivor benefits. A lower earning spouse may be entitled to up to 50% of the higher earner's benefit, and a widow or widower may be entitled to 100% of their late spouse's benefit. These are dollars that are sitting there waiting to be claimed, and so many people don't ask about them. Third, check your Social Security earnings record. You can do this for free at ssa.gov by creating a My Social Security account. Errors in your earnings record are more common than you'd think, and an uncorrected error could permanently reduce your monthly benefit. Fourth, if you are on Medicare, make sure you understand how your Part B premiums are being deducted from your Social Security check. In 2025, the standard Part B premium is $185 per month, but higher income individuals pay more through what's called IRMA surcharges. If your income dropped significantly in the past year due to retirement, a job loss, or another major life event, you can appeal your IRMA surcharge and potentially get it reduced, which means more money stays in your check every month. My friends, I want to close today by saying something from the heart. I know this can feel overwhelming. There are so many rules, so many numbers, so many forms, and sometimes it feels like the system wasn't designed to be understood by the very people it's supposed to serve. But I want you to know that knowledge is power. Every time you watch a video like this, every time you ask a question, every time you pick up the phone and call the SSA or a benefits counselor, you are advocating for yourself, and you deserve every single dollar that you've earned. The $2,100 deposits trending this April are real. The COLA increases are real. The WEP and GPO repeal is real. The VA increases are real. And the strategies I've shared with you today are real practical things you can act on starting today. If you found this helpful, please share it with someone you love, a parent, a sibling, a neighbor, a friend, because this information could literally change their financial life. And if you have questions, drop them in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'll do my best to get you an answer. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next update.